Welcome back to the Gadget Spot.
Hey.
Hello.
2 weeks later.
Yep.
Has it been that long?
It has.
It's
it has
always
indeed.
been that long.
No.
Why do you even need to ask?
Get
When you don't
out.
sleep, like James isn't.
I'm actually awake now.
Hey, I love the Nathan Drake style shirt you have right
Thanks, man.
now. Yeah. I just want to take it.
All your days start to run together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Tony, do you always leave the toilet seat up like that? Why are you taking it?
That's
You need
why
to
I got
reposition
the.
your microphone.
That's why
There
I
we
got the
go.
slow close toilet seat, so you could put it down, but you didn't.
Yeah. Now you can slam it down and it won't slam.
Yeah.
But you left
Meh.
it like wide open.
I
Okay,
know.
somebody else needs to use it.
I guess it's somewhat polite.
You know, I was just trying to think of you guys.
Yeah.
There's no women.
You were
present.
thinking of me while you were peeing?
I was.
Nice. I think you
Yeah,
too. I just didn't want to
scooch
say it
wingman.
out loud.
Hey, you just upgraded your relationship right there.
Ooh, points for us, I guess.
Want a hand
Yeah.
hug, or is this like a bro moment, or?
This is a moment where we introduce our panelists.
Oh,
yeah. This is the Gadget Spot where we talk about gadgets, tech, and video games. And we're going to go around the table and introduce ourselves, starting with Owen.
Hey, I'm Owen. Follow me on Twitter at TechNowen. I get on there once every 2 weeks or so, maybe.
Only when you talk about it on this podcast.
Yep, pretty much. I had a goal to tweet more, and that didn't really go well. I'm bad at goals.
It
Really
feels like
bad.
I'm listening to a recording right now of Owen.
I'm really bad at goals. No, a recording wouldn't be able to give you the bird like this. Meow. Anyway, I didn't actually flip him off.
No,
just
he
so
didn't.
that
You
people-
should have. Gosh.
He's too nice.
I don't want to get on anybody else's blacklist. I've so much work getting off James' blacklist.
I had a blacklist?
Yeah, and I was on it, or still am. I'm not sure. You're all over the place.
James
Yeah.
it's more like a gray list.
It depends. It depends on how good his memory is for that day.
Well, it depends on which James we're talking to. Is it the one that remembers things and records them and plays them back to you in the most painful way possible? Or is it the James that likes to buy you some random stuff on the show? We don't know. I never know. I never do. Anyway.
We'll
That's
find
me.
out as we go, I'm sure.
I didn't play any games at all in the last 2 weeks.
All right.
Zero.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Jarron.
Hey, this is Jarron. You can find me on Twitter at Jarron, Jarron. And I have played 3 games. I beat Apex Legends.
You can't beat that game.
No, I beat it. I'm done with it.
Did
you
you
still
take
can't do it.
first place?
I took first place.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So my friend that I play with on occasion, he's absurdly good. Probably not as good as good people think.
Did he get you first?
But-
did he help you get first place?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I need to get it. I need to get in touch.
And so, like, at the very end, it shows, everyone's stats on your team. And he got, like, 5 kills. The other teammate got 3. And now you're turning me down. Oh, that's offensive. And I got 0 kills.
You
So-
won with 0 kills?
Yeah, I did.
I've done that too. Yep.
And so I feel like I don't have to play that game again. But that's okay.
You want to go out on a high note. I understand that.
Yeah, I do. Then I've played Metro.
Oh, good game.
Oh, that game
I've been
is
playing that too.
the most gorgeous game ever. I think I said this last time, but
So pretty.
it is such a good-looking game.
It doesn't do destructible stuff. I just saw.
No.
No,
Oh, okay. Well, that's
but
out for me.
it does ray
Can't
tracing.
Can't shoot random trees and leave bullet marks. And what's the point of playing it?
Oh, that was Battlefield 5
Oh, okay.
that I
Yeah,
was
Battlefield
playing
5,
when that
okay.
happened.
Oh.
But it does ray tracing, and it's glorious.
Yes!
It is so glorious. And DLSS looks so good on it now. I'm very much impressed.
The people over at DICE need to take notes
Yeah.
from the people over at 4A Games.
Isn't 4A Games a smaller team as well?
Very small compared to DICE.
They like punch above their weight, and so there's certain areas of the game that just look slightly off. And I'll
But-
forgive them for it since they're a small team.
But it's because the rest of the game looks so good.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the problem. When a game looks so good, you start to notice these small things you haven't noticed before.
Yep.
The last game I've been playing is Diablo on Switch.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm-
Because you've been traveling a bit.
I'm actually kind of into it.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I like it.
Are the loot drops random in that?
Yes.
Okay, that explains it. I got this some weapon. It is completely overpowered.
I love it when that happens.
I feel like a god in that game.
So there's a few drops that are not random you get for killing certain bosses, but those items can come out randomly as well. Because one of my playthroughs, I was about 10, maybe 12 minutes in, and I got Yorick's Crown, which is one of the big bosses you fight in Act 1, I think, or Act 2. And that made my character so powerful because I got it way too early.
Yeah, so this weapon I got, it increased I'm a mage, so increased my magic thingy by like 425%.
Yeah.
I beat the first main boss, the Skeleton King, in 3 hits.
Yep. Love it.
There's this huge like area of like 20 enemies, I throw one magic orb into it, and they're all dead.
Poof.
Yeah, so I don't know if I should like unequip it.
Well, no,
Nope.
just raise the difficulty.
No, I don't want to
Well,
do that.
here's the thing, though. You get rewarded in Blizzard Diablo games when you raise the difficulty because you get experience points faster.
Oh, maybe
So
I will.
it adds like a 1.75 multiplier if you increase the difficulty to like up to the second from the middle or something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
man, you got to do that because if you don't do that, you just turn into a bowling ball with that game. You just bowl
yeah.
over
I
everybody.
am a bowling ball, and I love it.
so it's gratifying for sure, though.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I've been playing. I beat Apex. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
That game is a
can't
lot
do
of
that.
fun when you have other people that are also playing that game.
Yeah.
You can't play it alone.
Well, yeah, you can play it alone, but the thing is like if a monster kills one of your friends, it can cross over into your game, and it says like,
Oh, we're not talking about Apex Legends anymore, are we?
I'm talking about Diablo.
Oh.
What were we
okay.
talking about before? We were talking about Apex.
We went back to Apex.
I know.
We
That's
were on Diablo.
what I was talking about.
Pay attention,
Doesn't
James.
the
Okey-dokey.
Battle Pass come out tomorrow? Season 1?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Oh. Okay.
It's in the
Cool.
notes. James.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is James. I'm a lot more awake than last time. You can catch me on Twitter, JDD Jensen, or other places that Discord. Check out our Discord on gadgets, gadgetspot.net. Go there. You can catch our Discord.
That's our
Nice.
website. You can catch everything from
Yeah.
our website.
If you want to chat directly with us, that's where you can go. So I haven't really been playing video games other than Super Smash, but I'm kind of like burning out on talking about that. I have, however, rediscovered the Comixology app.
Boo.
You should buy an Xbox One.
I will back you up with booing it a little bit.
The app, I'm sure, is fine, but the content is poopy.
Yeah, well, they get you.
They give you like the first 2 volumes of something,
And then it's
and
just
then they're like, okay, $10 a volume after that.
have fun.
Yeah.
But they did a good job on getting me hooked to Saga. Holy
Oh, Saga's so
moly.
good. I have all of those.
What?
Yeah. Well, I have them on.
Dang
I have them
it.
digitally. I don't have the physical
Oh,
copies.
okay. Because I was gonna say that's the only
So
comic book
good.
that I've dropped actual money to finish up the collection.
it's great,
Yeah, I
isn't
dropped
it?
$45, man.
Worth it.
It's so good.
Money
It-
well spent.
It's so weird, like getting into that world. It's like, does this dude have a TV for a face? And-
Yeah, the Prince.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
the Moonies, and I don't know. Here's the deal: is like download the Comixology app, start out Invincible, start out Saga, and then it'll rip you away from it. But my gosh, it's so freaking good.
I recommend anything by Brian K. Vaughan. He's the guy that wrote Saga.
And did you see that he's actually going to be the one that's writing the Gundam movie?
Did not
no,
know that.
it's not Gundam. It might be.
I say that
Gundam.
doesn't really seem his style, but he could.
I'm gonna look it up. Here
So
in
he's
just a minute.
he's written a lot of stuff for the big publishers, I think, as well as a lot of his own creator stuff.
Yeah.
His own creations, which is Saga's one of them. It's his original idea. Why the Last Man is Brian K. Vaughan. He wrote for Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics for a while. He has another one called Ex Machina. Ex Machina is really good.
Oh, that one's way good.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, apparently he did like Under the Dome. He did Runaways.
Oh, yeah, he wrote an
And
episode or 2
Gundam.
of Runaways.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Cool. Well, I'll watch it.
But no, I put him up on the same pedestal as the writer, and I can't remember his name right now, of Walking Dead. Those two to me are like the pinnacle of like storytellers in my eyes right now, like modern storytellers. They do such a good job. But go check those out. You know, do what you can to avoid the Comixology app, apparently. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to. Oh yeah, so I went back through because we were talking about it last time and reassessing all of my subscriptions.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what brought me back to Comixology because I realized that I'm still subscribed to that.
No way.
Yep.
It's
So
been like a
year
year.
later, yeah.
Oh, man, they soaked you.
Yeah, they got my $50. But you know who doesn't have my $50 right now is Tony. He's our host.
I do have your $50 that I won in that bet.
Bam! I was gonna say, I bet you lost a bet to Tony at some point.
Why do you just have to assume that?
Because
Where did the assumption even come from?
I think you've
Why
lost. I
can't-
think out of
why
all
couldn't
the
it be
you
the other
can't-
way around?
I think it's because you make so many bets that I just assume that you must lose.
I bet you I
50%
don't
of
make
them.
that many bets, Owen.
See?
bet you.
Add
bet
that,
ya.
Add that to the pile.
Of what?
I don't know.
All right.
Bets.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, or every week on the Gadget Spot. Oh, every other week on the Gadget Spot, and every week on the Geek Show podcast.
Somebody got excited out there.
Like, what? No, still bi-weekly for the Gadget Spot.
Still by here.
I'm trying to find. My brain hurts because I can't remember the guy that wrote Walking Dead. And
Robert Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman, because he wrote my favorite comic of all time, Invincible. I think Invincible is so freaking
so good.
Okay.
But I still haven't finished it, man. I'm still only on the Comixology cutoff.
Oh,
I'm only
man.
halfway through.
Well, I have all of those physical.
I keep meaning to hit you up.
So just let me know. Let's see. Games lately. I've been dabbling in the Metro Exodus as well. Fun game. I've always been a fan of the Metro games, though.
The voice acting isn't great.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I have heard though that the best way to play it is with the Russian voice, and then
I
you
can't
read
understand
the
that.
subtitles.
All right.
But anyway, I'm really enjoying that game so far. I think I'm about 2 hours in. Also have been playing. What was the other one? Someone said, I was like,
Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
It's always Destiny.
Oh yeah, of course. I've been playing Destiny because we got new Season of the Drifter content going on, which is super cool. They redid the Gambit playing area and everything.
Gambit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
No, not that Gambit.
And then I picked up Dead Cells for the Switch because I had to go travel for work for about a week, and so I played a lot of
That
Dead
game
Cells.
is good. How
How
many levels have you gone through?
I've only gone through 4, I think, because the first level breaks off into 2 areas. You can go through the sewer or the promenade, and
Or
then
does it?
well, as far as I've seen, anyway.
Oh.
And then from there, I've beaten the next level on each one, and I've gotten to the boss. I have not beat the boss on the bridge or the walkway. He's hard.
He's tough. I think that's where I got to before my jailbroken Switch. Before I just gave it up.
Oh,
I felt too bad after a while.
good for you.
Yeah.
You do have a conscience.
Barely. So anywho, I got a jailbroken Switch if anybody wants it.
You had a conscience?
Why do you have to say it like that?
Because I'm flabbergasted.
Well, now he's selling the
I'm
bad,
not selling
the
it.
bad
I'm willing
goods.
to give it away.
He's
If
gonna
anybody wants it,
rid his conscience of it.
you just
It
got to
still
come to
works.
my house and go get it. I ain't bringing it up.
Well,
I ain't
Owen's
doing
interested.
I have no conscience.
So that's been pretty fun. And then I also the other day started Persona 5 for the PS4. I hadn't done a JRPG in a long time.
So
only
how
heard good
hard
things about
is
Persona.
that to get into for the uninitiated?
So fairly hard because the first 2 plus 2 to 3 hours or so of the game is pretty boring. But once you get past that, it's starting to get interesting because this is a very, very story-based game, and so they have to introduce the character, why the character's doing what he is doing, and why his setting has changed all of a sudden. But they definitely drop enough cool clues that you want to keep going. So I would say that it's definitely worth your time, especially you can find it on sale right now for real cheap. I think the PlayStation Store has it for like $17.
Yeah, they're having a big sale right now.
Yeah, totally worth it. Persona 5, at least so far, the 4 or 5 hours I've played so far. But I'm really enjoying that one. And then let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll call it there. But
What
been pretty good-
Jaron's
pretty
trying
good
to tell
gaming
you
time.
is our ears.
he wants his turn.
wearing out.
His.
No, I can't hear out of my right ear.
Yeah, neither can I.
Oh,
Can
Yeah.
you guys?
that's not. I'm
No.
I'm
Oh,
fine.
Oh, there we
There we
go.
go.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Yeah,
right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got it. So anyway, yeah, good times. Been doing a little bit of gaming. I also tried out that PS4 screen projection to the iPad. What's that called?
Remote play.
Remote play. Yeah,
That works
How'd you
well.
like
It does. It does work really well.
Yeah, I tried
And
it.
so-
I tried it at work. And
Me too, and it worked good.
Yeah, the lag, it was barely perceptible.
Exactly.
But given that it was coming from my PS4 at home,
Yeah,
it was amazing.
really
Wait,
cool.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
For real?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I even went as
love
far.
the future.
I wouldn't recommend multiplayer stuff.
Well,
but
no,
for like
or twitchy shooters or anything
yeah,
like
but I
that.
think like something like God of War, yeah, it'd be all right.
I'd say it's perfect for a game like Persona 5 where it's turn-based.
Yeah, that too.
Could I get into your PlayStation?
No.
If I give you my login, yeah.
So if I were to give you a monthly subscription for access to your PlayStation,
Jaron's
to
PlayStation.
play God of War, because I've wanted to play it.
Well, you would need to get I would definitely recommend doing what I did and getting a controller that's compatible with your iPad.
I've been thinking about
Otherwise,
doing
it'd
that.
be on-screen controls, and those are the worst.
Yeah, I tried it the on-screen controls and it was a nightmare.
So, but yeah, I tried it with Resident Evil 1, the Resident Evil 1 remake, and it felt almost Almost
Really?
perfect. Yeah.
Streaming from your house.
From my house to work.
It's,
To work.
it's
Over the internet.
slightly-
Over the internet.
Slightly blurry, slightly macro blocky, but it's not bad.
I mean, yeah. The
Right.
sacrifices you're making are worth it.
Well, the
if you ask
fact
me.
is, you're
Yeah.
playing on a freaking iPad, man. We're living
Yeah.
in the Star Trek universe right
crazy,
now.
crazy cool. All right, let's see. We got to talk about our faithful Patreon subscribers, and then get on to some emails.
Yeah, so Patreon.
yeah.
If you guys like us, you can go to patreon.com/GadgetSpot and donate. It's like a digital tip jar.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah, I nailed it. And if you donate $6 or above, we love you and we read your name aloud. You become a tech daddy or a tech mommy.
Let's be clear too. If you donate less than $6, we still love you as well.
Yes, but you're not a tech daddy or a tech mommy.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, just substantially less.
Yeah. So shout out to these tech daddies. I don't think we have a tech mommy right now, but that's okay. Huge shout out, thank you to AJ Jasper, David Broshinsky, and Aaron Young. You guys are awesome. What is your favorite Disneyland ride? If you want to know what that is, refer to last week's episode. But yeah, that's Connor Ritchie. Peter Santone?
Sandusky.
No.
Santone.
Hardware. Adam Hecht, Ryan Baker, Aaron Faulkner. Jarron can be reasonable. Now play Spider-Man. Working on it.
Oh, game's good.
Adam Foote, Spencer Knowlton, Valentine. I can make Jarron say anything for $6.
Every month.
Ryan McQueen, Michael Beck, Jeffrey Kale, Roger Allen, Austin Beauregard, Brian Lee, Conrad Southworth. Beauregard.
All right. Thank you so much,
Here's the
Patreon
thing.
backers.
Is last week we ended up trying to do this like group get together on an island, Austin Beauregard, and it didn't end up. Did you guys hear about this like fire festival that didn't end up taking off?
It was a disaster.
You guys,
like a dumpster fire.
You guys
Yeah.
tried and it didn't.
No. So we ended up pulling out, and now we're gonna go into like
What?
botanical vegan soda drinks.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Sounds like a bad YouTube video.
We're calling it BioLace Terra.
I think it sounds good.
Thank you.
All right. We have a couple of emails this week. Owen, why don't you read an email for us?
Okay, I'll read an email.
If you don't mind.
We got who's we reading first? We got a few of them, didn't we?
Let's do 3 emails this week. Do we have 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Where,
we got 3.
where are we starting at?
The
Mishmash.
Top? The top?
Mishmash. I don't know which one that is.
It's
What's
the
the
one
date?
that says Mishmash. I'll read it. I have
Okay,
it.
yeah, I don't know which one that is.
Yeah, this is
They're
what
out of
happen-
order.
This is what happens every time. Dear Gadget Spot, you don't have to read this on the podcast. Well, too bad to you because
Boom.
we're doing it.
Already there.
I just want to use you as my new tech search engine.
Oh, I read this one. Never
I've
mind.
been used before, and I liked it.
I have some old computer parts, cords, monitors, digital cameras, pre-smartphone phones, and a portable phone, yes, the landline kind, that has been sitting in a storage bin for years. Owen, man,
Oh man,
you
this
need to
guy.
listen to this.
I was like, this guy's got a page in my journal.
He
right
is.
here.
He
Wow.
is speaking to you.
Yeah.
I am now determined to get rid of all of it, but I don't want to throw it into the trash. My questions are, 1, what kinds of tech things can be recycled? Let's just answer these as I go.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of questions.
There.
Okay. Almost any tech thing can be recycled.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Like, recycled for money. Like,
I said almost.
Well,
like-
if it's usable still, I would just sell it on KSL Classifieds or Craigslist or eBay, whatever. And if you don't want to sell it, give it to your local thrift store.
Yeah,
Or to
local
Owen.
thrift store for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So the other one, like, if you're ripping it apart though, like an old PC or something, you can recycle the aluminum heat sinks and stuff like that. I've done that before. Taken the aluminum heat sinks out of a whole bunch of computers that our company was getting rid of,
You have?
and yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Well, they were
How many
garbage.
are we talking?
Yeah, there's like 40 or so. It
I'm
was a bunch.
impressed.
And in Best Buy, they will buy some old crap.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I gave them a decade-old computer, and they gave me $75.
There
Yeah.
you go.
There's-
They
there's-
also usually in between the front doors of Best Buy, there's a recycle area.
Yeah, same
on-
with Walmart.
on one of the walls
Walmart's
where you
got
can-
one of those
you can-
EcoFoam recyclers.
Yeah, you can put like phones or batteries or like cables. and
Has
stuff
anybody
like
ever
that.
used one of those? I have an
No.
old. What do you get for that? Like,
Nothing.
I've never
Just put it in there.
recycled it. My phones have always broken horribly. That's whenever I replace my cell phone. So
At the Best Buy ones, it's just a bin. You just toss
at
it
the
in.
Walmart, Try the Walmart and try recycling your phone in one of the eco phone bins.
Do you always call it the Walmart?
The Walmarts. Go to the Walmart. Go to Walmart. I don't know.
All right.
I have no preference.
So we actually answered most of his questions. So what kinds of tech things can be recycled? Do you know a place in the Salt Lake area? We just told you. Could I
Okay.
sell these items? Yes.
Sometimes.
Could I sell these items to James? I'm going to say yes. James, how much are you offering for them? I'd say $500. 6, when can you pick them up? James?
I'm free most Wednesdays and Thursdays.
All right.
Okay.
7, this isn't a question. It's just here to bug anyone who hates odd-numbered lists.
I approved of that question.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Mishmash?
Mishmash.
Mishmash. All right, we got one from Cody Taylor.
Cody Taylor.
Here we go. I've been Team Nintendo my whole life.
Okay.
And my daughter just bought a PS4. And
Okay.
I feel totally out of my element. The Switch has a much simpler UI, and I feel really lost navigating what feels like the USS Enterprise. I guess I can get through that over time. I bought Spider-Man, Battlefield 2, and Detroit.
Whoa,
Become Human.
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Star
sorry.
Wars, I totally applaud that.
And Detroit Become Human. What else do we need for our PS4?
So those are 3 really good games. Well, Battlefront 2 is all right. So I would say
Battlefront 2 is awesome. They really made it better. It's awesome. Go check it out.
it's got a good single player for sure.
It's awesome.
And as far as the menu kludginess, yeah, you'll just have to get used to it. Honestly, it's just kind of poopy. And it's been like that ever since the PS3,
So,
PS2 maybe.
2 best games on the PS4.
Let's hear it.
God of War.
Yes,
Horizon Zero Dawn.
yes, I would definitely echo Jarron.
Those are system sellers. Get it.
Go get those games.
Those 2 beat Spider-Man?
Yeah, those are better than Spider-Man.
Is Spider-Man in third place?
I would say. maybe.
Probably, yeah. He already said he bought Spider-Man though.
Yeah.
So
And if you find a good sale, I would recommend any of the Uncharted games, but that's just me.
no, they're good. They're really good games. If you haven't played The Last of Us, they redid it for the PS4, so pick that up.
Yeah, it's
that's
good.
really really good.
And Joe Reedy, I got to give a plug for him. Bloodborne.
Yeah, if you like super hard games, any of the Dark Souls or Bloodborne
Yeah.
games,
Is Bloodborne the same as Dark Souls?
basically,
yeah, same company.
It's same company, same kind of game,
Same universe?
different universe. That's what the difference is.
It's dumb.
Let's see. Is that all the? I think that might be most of the. Oh, if you like racing games, you got. Didn't they do a Gran Turismo for
Yeah, they did.
PS4?
Oh.
Okay.
Gran Turismo Sport, I think.
Yeah,
I think Microsoft has the racing genre cornered now.
they do for sure with the Forza series.
Forza's so good.
But yeah, there's a lot of good games out for the PS4. Basically, just go down the list of all the exclusives and
they're all
just
good.
just pick whatever looks cool.
Like even Gravity Rush, even that's a great game, and it's just like a small obscure exclusive.
the Ratchet and Clank remake.
Yeah, it's also great.
Really good.
Speaking of which, did you guys see that Nintendo, some head of Nintendo tweeted out that there's big things coming to Nintendo? Something to the extent of like what it would be like if Mario went to PlayStation. Did you guys see that?
I did not.
People have been speculating that the Rare Replay is coming to Switch.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've never played it. I have it on my Xbox. I haven't opened it up once.
But
me,
it would
it's-
still be cool.
To me, it's
Yeah,
just
it
weird
would.
that we're getting Crash Bandicoot on Nintendo. That to me is just as big. And CTR is coming out in
Crash
like
Team
May
Racing.
or June.
They within like a week, Night Dive Studios announced Turok for the Switch, and
I
it's
never
already
played
been
that
released. It's on the Switch. No, I think this week, end of this week, it comes
Oh
out.
right.
And then Turok 2 will be a couple weeks later.
I think I might get that. I never played it.
Turok is that fighting game, right?
the
no,
dinosaur
it's
one.
Dinosaur Hunter, first
Oh,
person
yeah, I
shooter
never
from the
played that
N64. Classic
yeah.
games.
If it goes on sale for under 10, yeah, I'll pick that up.
I highly recommend them if you want some old school goodness.
Are you guys ever pissed that you're the age that you are when all this cool stuff is coming out?
No, I think it's
No.
awesome.
Oh,
Because
wait, dude.
we've seen the genesis of it.
I
Yeah,
have an income.
And the
to buy
Sega
it.
Genesis.
right.
Yes.
Both of the genocide.
Yes. We got a last message from Lang.
Go ahead.
Hey,
John.
Lang.
What are your must-have apps that you can't live without? Please answer one at a time and no repeats.
Did you see how sad Owen sounded?
Go ahead, Jarron.
Oh. Anyway, I'm continuing here. Is that okay with you, Owen?
Oh, I was only saying that because I have low blood sugar. I have no.
Here, do you want
No
a little
emotion.
bit of my soda?
Do you want
Nope.
do you want a LaCroix? Has no sugar in it.
Oh no, that's awful.
That'll wake you up.
Anyway, he
Because
says,
it tastes so bad.
"Love you guys," and Jarron. Oh,
Oh, even you.
yeah. Oh no.
You
wait.
forgot the commas,
I got that
though.
wrong.
Yeah.
Love you guys and Jarron. Can
Comma.
we not be friends?
Oh,
Oh, because he won't accept me on Facebook.
That was a side step.
Now I know how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I never go on Facebook.
It's true. He does not.
I will go on Facebook and I'll friend you.
I will go and do.
Yeah.
Is that the whole email?
That's
Nothing
it.
but cares.
Oh, we have to answer what our favorite apps are.
Oh, that's right. Favorite must-have app, in my opinion, number one app. You want to know how much I like this app? With the latest update to the Galaxy Note 9, you can reprogram the Bixby button to open up anything you want. It doesn't open up my camera. I push Bixby, it opens up Slick Deals.
Oh, Slick Deals.
Whoa.
Yep.
I want a Slick Deals button.
I have a Slick Deals button on my phone
that
now.
Is so
That's
awesome.
from the updated. You have the Note 9?
Finally, yeah.
And now you get to have Pi?
Finally got
Finally,
Pi.
and
Yep.
that's what did it?
And it's been really, really good.
Right.
I've been I'm using the actual Samsung skin now.
Instead of the
Nova launcher.
Right, yeah.
How does it feel to know that you'll never get another update for that phone?
You know what? I hate you, Jarron. But I've a quick side review of that, I guess, is it's been really awesome so far, and I like it quite a bit. I am super happy that Samsung has finally done a good job.
I think that's such a crock that they use that to sell their phones. Like, oh yeah, well, you can get a new update, but their new ones will come with Pi preloaded, like the new phones.
The
right?
S10s, yeah. All right, Jarron, your turn.
I'm gonna name off 3. Here we go.
I'm listening.
Tweetbot. I love Tweetbot on iOS.
Do you suggest that over Twitter?
Oh yeah, it's the best Twitter client for sure. Reader. It's a Feedly app. It's just my favorite implementation of it. So you get all your RSS feeds, but if you don't use RSS, it'd be kind of worthless to you. And Ring. I have Ring devices and I love them.
Nice.
And I have to use the app to use them.
Owen.
Mine are work related. So Slack is my big one.
Slack's a good one.
I couldn't live without it. To answer the question exactly, I could not live without that app. But my runner-up is Plex. I use that quite a bit on my phone.
I forgot about media stuff. If I could throw one more on there besides Slick Deals, it's Audible. I use my Audible all the time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And James.
Oh, man. Well, I just barely, before we started recording this podcast, discovered Duet, the app for your iPad that makes it so you can pair your screen, but connect your iPad and have it as a second monitor for your freaking laptop.
Well, I'm going to say that you can't use that then because you've lived without it for up until this day.
Now I can't live without it. And I just so happen to have my USB-C to USB for my Nintendo Switch cord on me, so thankfully I could use it.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use all my Nintendo
you can't
Switch
pair it
USB.
any other way.
Yeah.
So thankfully I have one of
But
those.
Duet is so great if you have to work while you're on vacation.
Well, it's insane how you kind of get used to having 2 monitors and then
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
go
Big
back
time.
to one.
It's true.
But outside of that, I mean, obviously YouTube and Netflix, but man, shoot. OneNote is amazing for me recently. It's nice being able to take notes and being able to search through my notes. But outside of that, I mean, I use everything equally. Reddit's
Reddit's a good one.
Reddit's amazing.
Yeah, that's probably my third most used app is Reddit.
Yeah. What about you, Tony? What do you got?
I already said Slick Deals.
That's your number one?
That's my number one.
I thought you were kidding.
I
No.
would have said Slick Deals too, but he took it.
The Slick Deals app and then Audible are my number one and number two.
You guys make me feel like I'm not utilizing Slick Deals to its full potential.
Me too. I always am like, I get notified on this thing all the time, and I have no idea.
Well, I turn my notifications off. I just check it like 9 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
me
like,
too.
what are you looking for specifically?
Anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have one thing I look for, and I wait for Jarron to tell me about them, and it's the price, the mispriced items. That's like my favorite thing. I will buy anything
If it's a good enough deal.
Like if it's been mispriced for like $5 instead of $50, I'll buy it whatever it is.
Yeah, there you go.
And I wait for Jarron to find those because that's what he does.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Okay, so cool. Thanks for writing in, folks, and we always appreciate it. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're probably not going to get to it all, but we're going to try and hit the highlights just for you. The biggest story in the last 2 weeks, the most important thing, 100%, without question, Borderlands 3 finally
I knew that was coming.
is finally announced.
What? I totally missed this.
They're gonna fully unveil it supposedly at GDC.
It's a pre-announcement.
Yeah, it's a pre-announcement.
It's an announcement that they're going to announce it.
They teased that they will announce it at the end of the month. Yeah, I love Borderlands, so I'm super excited for
I'm
that.
assuming that that's just coming out on PlayStation and Xbox as it
And
normally.
PC.
And PC.
And PC.
Yeah, it's always out on PC.
Nice.
Just
nice.
get Borderlands 2 for the Vita.
This will be the first. This will be the first time I'll actually have a PC for when a game I want to play launches.
Yeah. I'm excited for that one. I'll probably even. I like that series enough. I might even pre-order whatever the special edition is.
What, really?
Yeah, for
Like $120 usually?
yeah.
Gee.
For whatever the swag is that it comes with. I like that game that much. That series, I mean. All right. Well, now that the most important thing is out of the way, we can talk about other stuff like, I don't know, the Tesla Model Y.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Or whatever. This is where you talk about it, Jarron.
Oh, yeah, that's me. That's my story. I'm not nearly as excited about the Model Y as I was about the Model 3. I'm not a big fan of their SUVs in general.
They don't even really look like SUVs.
They
if you
don't.
ask me.
It's their car.
They look like chubby cars.
And they just inflated the car a little bit.
Yes.
Raised the roof a tiny bit and inflated everything else.
And not even in the fun way.
Yeah. So anyway, the Model Y, it's the last car in their sexy series, S3XY.
I'm so glad that you called that out. I was about to call that out. Yeah.
Okay, that's clever.
Yeah. So it's based on Model 3 parts, so they're able to make it more cheaply.
Isn't it like 70% of Model 3?
Yeah, something like that. So it will start at $39,000, which means in 2029 you'll be able to buy it for that price. So they say it's going to come out next year. So the $39,000 one will probably be 2021, I imagine. But that's like the 230-mile range version. Of course, if you want to get a Model Y in the near future, you're going to have to start at least at 44, I think. But it's kind of standard procedure now. It's pretty much the Model 3 for specs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the similar 0 to 60, similar range. You can go up to 300 miles of range. You can upgrade to the autopilot, et cetera, et cetera.
Lots of expensive add-ons.
Yeah, but you can have a third row in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so unlike the Model 3 where you can't have a third row, you can in this. And if you do have a third row, you're going to have to stick children back there because...
Are they tiny seats?
They're tiny, and the roof would cut off your head.
Oh, yeah. No good for Tonys.
Yeah, no good for humans in general. But yeah, it looks like a coolish car, and it's going to come out next year. And go Elon Musk. Hip, hip, hooray.
That dude just does whatever he wants, man.
And sometimes it costs him.
Yeah.
So you can pre-order now. So if you want to spend $42,000, almost $43,000 on a car, go for it.
The thing about that's interesting, I mean, unless you're really dedicated to wanting an electric car, you can buy a pretty friggin' nice SUV for $42K. It's going to have a lot more luxury.
See, to me, an SUV, that's a traveling car.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would want a Tesla to go multi-state.
Yeah. If you're going to get something for road trips, first of all, if you ask me, it needs to have at least a 400-mile range.
Yeah.
And it needs to have the ability to refuel or charge in less than 20 minutes the way.
I bet we'll get there in 5 years.
Yeah.
Just not yet.
Right now, not so much.
And unlike the Model X, it doesn't have the Falcon doors.
Yeah, those are too expensive.
Which
to try
I
and put.
like better not to have them.
Yeah,
the Falcon doors are the kind that go up, right?
Yeah.
They go up and fold in. Are they fixed finally for the Model X?
Yeah, I hear they're working well now.
Okay, because they had trouble at first. Cool. All right. That'll be interesting. Okay, so, Owen, speaking of Android phones, should you update to Android
Should I do it?
Q?
You just saying that you had the new Pi, and now they just released the beta for the new Q.
Yeah.
What does it get you?
It's got a bunch of support for foldable stuff,
Which doesn't help you.
Which doesn't help me. I'm on the old.
Can you turn your phone into a foldable phone?
I could.
So as a side note, related to this, Google said that it supported in the beta the original Pixels.
Yeah,
which they weren't supposed to be.
Yeah, even though they're outside of support, I think that they've got because they're able to run Pi, they were able to run the update script to go to Q. I don't know what it's going to perform like.
Yeah, and we don't know if it's going to actually have the retail version of Q. Or
they've certainly improved since the Galaxy Nexus days, where they stopped supporting the phone a year later.
Indeed.
Yeah, so it's got foldable support. So they've got they brought that into the core OS. So the support for foldable stuff. They're saying that's going to be pretty good. And then let's see what else they put in there. It's a bunch. So the biggest thing for me that it's tempting me to do it is the share menu. Have you used?
What's the share menu?
So the share menu is whenever you get a picture or something you want to share, you hit the little Y share button, and it brings up Google's share context menu.
Yeah.
Right now, when I do that, the Google OS goes through every single app that could possibly transmit media in any way, queries those, sees if there's any context. It takes about 15 seconds.
Really?
After I hit share, I sit there, I hit share.
That's your phone, dude.
It brings in the context. No, this is pretty common for all. It's all for
because on my Note 9 it takes
like
2.
It's shorter for the better processing RAM. But
does it get slower the more apps you have?
Yeah, because it parses through all of them.
But you can disable apps in that, can't you?
No.
Oh,
it
no?
pulls them. That's what the new share menu does. It goes, okay, he only does it for these ones.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Apple's had that forever.
Yeah, right.
Who knew that Apple sharing was better?
So right now, when you go, I sit there and I'm like, okay, I want to share this picture to you guys on Slack or something.
Yeah.
Take a picture, hit share. It comes up immediately with the contacts menu. It remembers the apps. But then when I'm like, I want to use Slack, I just sit here and I go, come on, go into Slack. I want to do Slack. Come on, Slack. And finally, it lets the context menu, after it's parsed them all, do it. So that's one of the big things they're fixing is a share menu. And then the other features that they're kind of changing on it are the permissions controls that you can do. Now every app will have, instead of getting just full on a la carte permissions, you can set it per app, per time.
Wow.
So also looks like Apple.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this is not a very fun update. It's more of a foundational update.
Yeah, this is like quality of life improvements.
It is for the new. I think it's designed to be to push them into the future with their new hardware that's going to be coming out. But in particular,
so you should definitely not do this because those quality of life things probably don't work yet.
Those are always janky on the betas.
And I'm running the original Pixel XL. Who knows what it will do to me? So I probably won't.
We vote you don't. I think.
Yeah,
You should do it.
I'm trying to hold out till October to get the Pixel 4. That's like when that's supposed to drop, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to hold out. I really want the Pixel 3. Google just dropped their prices on the Pixel 3 again. They're giving Black Friday level deals right now for the Pixel 3 because
it is 4 months later.
Yeah, they're like sales aren't going so great. So now you can get a Pixel XL for $200 off.
Pixel 3 XL.
Pixel 3 XL for $200 off, or the whatever.
So what's the total price on that?
I think they came out at $749 for after.
Not the XL.
Oh no, the XL was it was like $749.
No, the XL was like $900
after the $200 off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, after. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but I don't know. If you want to join the beta, you can. They have a big disclaimer. I've done it before. I did the beta when they moved to Pi because there was a lot of creature feature updates, but this it's more back end core stuff, so I'm not going to do it. But when you submit your device into the beta program, there's two things that they come up with a bold thing. One is that we don't verify or guarantee that anything's going to continue to work as it's supposed to. Two, you're going to get some massive updates multiple times during the year as this goes through beta.
Yep.
But then the last thing they're like, and if you go back, your device gets wiped.
Yeah. Once you go out of the beta, you got to wipe your phone to go back on the main track again.
It wipes you back. The only time that doesn't happen is in the last 2 or 3 months of the beta, right before they push it out to prod, like to the bulk masses. You can join the beta, get the early version, and if you roll back, it won't do anything because there is nothing to go back to. They're just like kind of planning on it. Anyway, that's what I did with Pi. I waited and then got it early through the beta program when the beta was basically done. It worked out great.
Some of the other things come in Android Q. The Android runtime is getting more optimization, so apps should boot up faster, which is cool.
That's nice.
Vulkan 1.1 is coming out. That's the low-level graphics API.
Yep.
And that's great news for gaming on Android. So, yeah.
Cool. Speaking of mobile devices, Apple today, just quietly, without any fanfare or anything, updated the iPad Air and the iPad Mini.
Goodness.
Yeah,
this is how it should be done.
Right, especially for what this is just an internals update. And I think actually they did a screen update too. These are True Tone panels.
Yeah, they did a screen
but they're not ProMotion.
No.
So not the high refresh rate.
Yeah, not high refresh rate, but supposed to be really good colors.
There was a little bit of fanfare. I know Tim Cook tweeted out something to that extent.
Man. Yeah, but compared to a normal announcement.
I'm sorry, Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
No, he didn't say that. They've watched the tape. He didn't say it.
What?
No, he said
he even updated
said,
his like.
He did, but the press the executive press team has
Did
showed
I
that.
fall for fake news?
No, you didn't. They're just saying that it didn't happen.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that
just
didn't
feel
happen,
foolish
guys.
now.
They're just saying he
Oh.
said it really quietly.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
I
He
see
whis-
what you're saying.
He whispered it.
You're making fun of him. You're not
Yeah.
supporting him.
No, not at
well,
all.
you make me feel like an idiot.
So yeah, they announced that the iPad Air and the iPad Minis will now have the same internals as the iPhone XS and XS Max.
Nice. And it does support the Apple Pencil.
Apple Pencil as well.
Not the new one.
First generation.
the
Yeah.
old
yeah,
one.
the first gen, because they don't have the wireless charger
Yeah.
built onto the side.
And
so
that's actually not so bad because you can find them for super cheap. now.
yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I think they sell them online for like $100 now or something like
can
that.
find
you
them
can
for
find
even
a
cheaper on
first
eBay.
gen cheaper. Yeah.
Guys, we this incoming breaking news. Hasbro has produced a Monopoly game of Fortnite.
Boo.
Just a heads up. $9 on Slick Deals.
Oh my gosh,
This is
they're
your fault.
giving it away.
Yeah, basically.
So that's pretty neat.
Just like Fortnite.
The iPad, pretty neat. The iPad Mini has not had an update since 2005. 15, sorry, 2015.
Yeah,
almost 5 years.
That product needed it sorely.
Yeah.
Like my wife has the iPad Mini from clear back then, and it's a piece of junk now.
Yeah, they're so slow. So that's pretty neat. I'm excited to see how that does. But seeing as it's all internals that are already in the iPhone XS and XS Max, and those are killer, this is going to be a really good update.
I really like the
for-
form factor of the iPad Mini. It feels good.
Yeah, 7.9 inches, slim side bezels. You still have the chunky top and bottom bezel,
Chunky.
but
Yeah, they're perfect for slipping out of your hands.
overall pretty cool. So that's neat. Also,
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
it's pretty neat. Let's see. Okay, moving along.
I got something ready for my Thrifty 50.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you about cheap robot vacuums first.
Oh yeah,
but-
no, the cheap robot vacuums. Hey guys, just a heads up, if you're looking for it, they're selling a pretty okay quality Roomba.
Boy, that's what I want to have in my.
Well,
And by Roomba, I mean not Roomba.
There
it's
we go.
it's a company that sounds exactly like what you would think a knockoff Roomba would be.
What's
Pure
it?
clean.
Oh, yeah.
$90.
Oh man,
They compared its suction and everything to Roomba,
I
and they
can't
say it's
believe-
okay.
I can't believe we're at the point where. Do you remember the CD players back in the day? Kobe. It was like
Yeah.
complete
K-
Sony ripoff.
Well, I actually looked into that. I'd have to verify again, but I'm pretty sure they were a spin-off of Sony.
No way. No way.
I think so.
Anyway, I can't believe we're at the point with robot vacuums that we have Kobe essentially robot vacuums.
Yep.
Competition is good for the industry.
You
I want to. Oh,
you'll be able to find them in like that horrible plastic clamshell packaging, just hanging up in a grocery store aisle.
For video purposes, can we buy one of these with our budget, and then I'll bring over the Roomba that I bought from Jarron, and we'll tape knives to them and let them battle it out. That would be an awesome video, guys.
We could think about it. But I mean, how are you going to make them fight each other?
He's not saying no.
They're not.
Don't worry about it.
They don't think.
We'll put squiggly eyes on it.
That's the best part is that it'll be random exchanges because they're not on the same map, and so they'll eventually just hit
why
each
don't-
other.
I
Why
think
don't we
what-
just tape balloons to the back of them, and then whichever robot pops the other robot's balloons?
I'll be honest, that sounds pretty boring.
Oh, I'm going to say too that it would
And-
probably end up with gouge marks in Jaron's floorboards.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that.
I'm in. But what I was gonna say is, I found this article that has tired of waiting for the new AirPods, as I am currently, and here's 3 low-cost alternatives. They put forth a couple of low-cost alternatives. One of them is by JLab, going for $49. One of them's going by Anchor, and then the other one's Jabra.
Those are all actually pretty reliable brands.
The Jabra is really good.
I had to get mine replaced.
Okay, so that actually leads right into what Owen was going to report on was his customer service experience with Jabra.
Oh my gosh, it's been so Jabra. I've got the Elite Actives 65T.
Yeah.
Got them on slick deals that came through. Thanks, Jarron, my deal sensei. And
That makes me happy.
yeah, and
Until they broke.
They replaced my. They
That also
replaced
makes
my.
me happy.
They replaced my 65T that I'd lost
Right, because you lost some that you
yeah.
got for really cheap.
Yeah, they were like $80.
Yeah, and then you got these ones.
These ones were about $25 more. Anyway, I'm at work. I'm listening to my headset. I'm loving these things. Everybody's always so jealous. Like, oh, you're the man. You got those jobbers. Oh, I'm so jealous. And then I set them down. And I set them down. And I went to lunch. And I came back and nothing. Couldn't get them to work. I'm like, oh, they're just dead or something.
Yeah, it must be the battery.
Must be the battery. Whatever. No, the right earbud is dead. And I'm like, okay, tap tap. Nothing in the case. I closed the case. Actually, I didn't find this out until the last podcast when I brought them over and we could hear them. You close the case and they start playing inside the case.
Yeah.
So I called their customer support, waited on hold for 30 minutes just to get to somebody. Now, I am grateful that their support was English speaking.
Supportive? Oh.
English speaking because English is a first language, I should say. Because there
were no accent difficulties.
Yeah, and there was no like... just when it's outsourced customer support usually gets the sorry, sir, we can't help you. But this guy was like, well, this is completely new to me. And now I have to get a I had to send my receipt back and everything. But yeah, they totally broke and they had no idea. I'm the first case that had anybody that were like,
does that make you feel special?
Kind of, except for I don't have my headphones.
Oh. So what was the end result? How did they
eventually sent me an RMA.
Did you have to bug them about that?
I had to call them back once after because I was like, hey, it's been a week since you said you're going to send that to me, and then they were like, oh, here's your RMA, and in the email the guy sent to me, he's like, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to get that right earbud replaced, and I'm like, I don't want the right earbud replaced, I want both, like the whole thing replaced. So anyway, it's to be determined. I just barely dug up the receipt because you have to provide a receipt,
proof of purchase
and all that stuff. So it's to be determined. But yeah, just like totally weird that the right earbud stops working, which is the master. So the left earbud would connect and would charge and everything, but nothing else.
No sound.
I love the jobbers though for like ear snugness, and like the drivers are pretty good, so the bass is pretty good. Like and connectivity, I've been able to walk 30, 35 feet with nothing.
Nice.
I mean, I guess I'm comparing these to the Pamus, but those were I got those as this weird sad, like, I guess I can't have jobbers anymore, so I'll get these Pamus off of Indiegogo, and
those didn't turn out as good as I'd hoped.
They did not at all. So anyway, the to be determined on the final what happens finally, but they did finally send me an RMA, and it sounds like they're going to replace it under warranty.
Nice.
Anyway.
You feel like it was too hard to get there, though?
It was rough. I mean, they are not built for support, and that was kind of what I read across the board from the forums and everything I Googled while I was trying to fix it myself, was they're like, as a last-ditch effort, you can try their support.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was like seriously, I was like, no, I'm getting through. I'm going to sit here, and I ate my lunch. I worked. I was just like, had this weird, horrible, over loud music coming out of my speakerphone on my right next to me, and eventually I was like, this guy, hello, this is Nathaniel. And I was like, trying to grab my phone.
Humans, don't hang up.
Yeah,
Humans,
it's a prince. I'm here. So,
all I want you to do is just tell me that you're not a robot.
Yeah. Is this real? Am I in reality right now? So, anyways.
Cool. Good to know. So, if you're thinking about getting any Jabras,
they might have some weird, like I said, I'm the first.
Quirks.
And so they said that was the first case of that ever. So
You've never been the first of anything.
I know. Ever. Never. I mean, yeah, never. Yep.
Speaking of a first, actually, this is a third. Halo Master Chief Collection is coming to PC.
Awesome.
This is enough to make me almost join.
Yeah, the PC Master Race.
Because if the next Halo comes out on PC, then I'm not going to get an Xbox One, whatever.
Well, there you go. When I say it's a third, it's because Halo 1 and Halo 2 actually came out on PC back in the day.
But this is the Master Chief Collection.
This is the Master Chief Collection
they're
that
adding
has
in
basically every Halo game that's come out because they're going to add Reach into it.
Yeah, they're going to add Reach.
Every first-person shooter Halo
I'm glad
game.
they're adding Reach. It felt like a hole.
What's a good game?
Reach was like the redheaded stepchild. Wait, are they adding? Adding ODST as
Halo?
well?
They already did. Halo 3 ODST was the redheaded stepchild.
I love that.
Which
game.
I love.
Just
that
like
one.
me.
I love that because like eventually you meet Master Chief and the timelines collide.
Yeah,
it's great. Spoiler,
Do you
sorry.
ever actually meet Master Chief? Because I know
the
you
very
see him
end.
At the very end, he comes in and you're like, oh, everybody's like, that's Master Chief.
That's John 117.
Yeah.
What
So
John.
What?
What?
What do you mean what?
I haven't played that game yet. Did you just spoil it for me?
Yes.
Maybe.
You should have played it in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it came out 10 years ago. So spoiler alert.
That isn't what happens.
So yeah, the interesting thing about this announcement though is it's not just in the Microsoft Store. They're bringing it even to Steam. Steam will have Halo: The Master Chief Collection for purchase. which is crazy to think about.
Yay!
So that'll be really neat. They don't have a release date on it yet, but they're doing Reach first, and I guess it sounds like they're going to bring it over in parts.
Will they have the Needler rifle?
Probably, if that was
Is
in Reach.
that going to be part of the Xbox Play Anywhere?
No.
What? This is the only game that they produced that wouldn't be.
Side
Yeah.
note, I'm still subscribed to that too.
You don't even have an Xbox.
Shut up, Tony. Still a member of Xbox Live too.
I read today that that it will not be included in the Play Anywhere. So they're kind of counting this. It sounds like, as of right now, this could change, but it sounds like they're counting Halo Master Chief Collection on PC as its own standalone thing.
So I have to buy it.
You'll have to buy it again. I'll have to buy it
I want to
again.
do it. I want to hate it.
But you're going to do it.
Yeah.
They're like, they see Nintendo just like, they'll buy anything
They'll
if you just
do-
put it on another system.
That's right. That's basically half
That's
of
the new model now.
half of the great Switch games are
That
remakes
was-
of
that
Wii
was
U
Doom
games.
for
Watch
me.
us do
and
it
Wolfenstein 2.
with
and
Mario.
Diablo.
Yep.
And
right,
Rayman Legends. Oh, dang it.
right there. They already got your number.
Speaking of garbage too, have you guys seen that new Doom movie
Oh, yeah.
trailer? It looks awful.
Dune?
It makes the,
No, Doom.
Oh, Doom.
They're making a new Doom movie.
It
They
makes
are
the-
making a new Dune movie, too.
I'm
that as
excited
well.
for that.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be terrible, the new the
makes
Doom movie.
Makes the one that was done by The Rock look like it was made, by Martin Scorsese. Holy moly! Why don't they just put the Doom guy in it? Just put the Doom guy in the Doom suit.
It's
Just put 'em in
software. It's software talked about it on Twitter. All they said was, "We're not associated with this."
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is pretty freaking funny. All right. And then also game related real quick. Apex Legends is releasing a battle pass.
But
So-
I beat that game.
No, you
What,
didn't.
what
Not
does this mean?
anymore.
You didn't beat
They
it.
have your number.
So Battle Pass is going. I don't know how often they're going to release it. Probably quarterly, like Fortnite. I would bet. And
So what does the battle pass get you?
that's what I'm going to tell you right now. It'll be $9.50 or 950 Apex coins, however you want to look at it.
Ooh, coins.
Basically, it looks like it's quite similar to a battle pass in Fortnite. You get access to a lot of other items that you can grind for.
Is it just cosmetics?
All cosmetics.
You don't get new guns or anything?
Nope. It's all cosmetics.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. So it should not actually affect the gameplay, but it'll be all things that it's not even stuff that you get right when you buy the battle pass. It basically unlocks a new avenue for you to earn through grinding things that you can't earn if you don't buy the battle pass. Does that make sense?
Well, and it's another way to give back to the developer if you want to look at it like that.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, if you've had a ton of fun with the game and you want some of these, the ability to unlock some of these items, it's worth $10.
Dude,
you know?
you do get a new character, it looks like.
No, the character is separate.
Oh. Never mind then.
Dude, I have stopped buying battle passes. I've stopped buying extensions to the game. I've stopped doing all that stuff because by the time that it finally comes out, I'm just not interested. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to lose interest in Super Smash, and that is my game. As such, I
Plus,
proved to you guys before we started
They
playing.
have overpriced their add-ons.
Oh, big time.
100%.
Big
but,
time.
But they're just rolling out so slowly.
Which is crazy because each add-on is two things: a new character and a new map, and they're taking like 4 months in between each one.
The last one, they didn't even drop a new map. It was just a new character.
Oh,
They're
really?
coming out with I've heard rumors of a new Smash DLC, right?
Well, it's coming out
It's not
hopefully in
rumor.
April.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a real deal.
Okay.
They've talked about
No, but the rumor was maybe that there was the characters that are coming out. There was like 6 characters.
4 characters.
Four.
Four characters.
Sure.
Yeah, we talked about it like 5
Okay,
episodes
cool.
ago.
Cool. I'm just going to time travel back to the present.
The next one should be a Joker from some game, not
Yeah.
Batman's Joker.
Persona 5.
Which I need to
Or
get
4.
into. I always thought it was a racing game.
Persona?
Yeah.
No, man, it's a JRPG.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, you have to. It's also PS4 only right now, so you have to get a PS4.
Yeah. It's good.
So anyway, yeah, check that out on Apex Legends if you feel like you want to pay a little bit of dough and support the dev and unlock some other stuff.
Do you feel like you reached the apex, Jarron, when you beat the game?
I did.
Heyo.
I apexed, and I'm done.
Owen, why do we care about WinRAR still? Do we care
Does
about
any-
How about
WinRAR?
instead of WinRAR, we talk about WinderStat?
So-
How amazing of a program that is.
WinderStat is the one that tells you what's on your hard drive, right?
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
makes it visual.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
like Pac-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
WinRAR has you guys are familiar with
Wait,
the
is
archive.
WinRAR better than 7-Zip?
No, 7-Zip is far superior and free.
This is why we're reporting on this.
Okay,
James. For
one, you don't have to laugh when you answer that question,
you.
okay?
Yeah, I kind of do. You kind of do, because in the notes, I said this. If you, or more likely your parents or grandparents, are using WinRAR, get rid of it.
Okay.
The fact that you didn't know
Don't
puts
talk
you
down to me, Owen.
That puts you at their level.
Whose level?
My grandparents.
I
Man,
think your
Owen.
grandparents
And
are great people.
He has wrapped
Gotta-
himself in a shawl.
I'm cold and I need a
He's
lap.
cold. He's
blanket.
wrapped himself. So WinRAR has been like, I don't know. That's been one of the main ways of exploiting Windows and using, like, delivering
Basically being an
garbage
avenue for hackers.
Really. So for the last 19 years, there has been a flaw in the WinRAR code that allows you to send a package attached to a zip, and it will unzip that folder into your startup drive. And why that's important is that normally UAC requires elevated privileges.
It'll pop up with a thing that says, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
With the WinRAR flaw, you don't have to do that.
Oh,
They just
man.
dumped it in there, so the next time the computer reboots, that code is automatically executed.
Oh man.
And then once that code gets executed, obviously it just keeps rolling, right?
Right.
So anyway, so it has been so that flaw was just announced recently. They kind of found it, which makes me think for the last 19 years, people have been using this. Like talk about keeping a 0-day exploit like underground.
Under wraps for 19 years.
For 19 years, right? Like,
I mean, they knew about this, right?
now they do. Like, I'm trying to find out when it was announced, but it was announced pretty recently. And within that announcement, now there's been tons of reports of people actually using this exploit.
Oh, man.
Because the exploit wasn't like, hey, we're going to fix it. The exploit was like, hey, this exists. Don't use WinRAR.
Oh, geez.
But for all the people out there that have WinRAR installed, because how many apps are like, hey, download this zip file and free WinRAR before 7-zip? So many people have WinRAR just sitting
I
around.
hate it when people use a different format than just normal zip that's built into Windows.
What's like a different like zip?
I like the 7-zip format because it's
.7z
smaller.
or whatever.
.7z. I use it for people. I don't use
Smaller? Are you really that constrained on storage and bandwidth today?
when you're sending like server logs that are like gigabytes of text data. It actually can compress a lot because the way compression works is that it looks for similar characters and compresses those. So
How much more compression do you get from that?
probably I'm gonna make this number up off the top of my head. So 13%.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I got a question that I probably should know the answer to, but I really, really don't. If I
Oh, this is going to be good.
use...
I won't talk down to you.
Oh, dang. You know what?
I'm not
Tony.
going to.
Let's hear it.
No, I'm not going to talk down to you. All
right.
I'll put on my customer service face and tell you an honest answer.
So the main format that I export my videos in is MP4, but I would prefer to do MOV files, right? If I zip them and send it, does it mess up the quality of the video?
No.
It's already compressed.
Yeah, but I want to compress it even more if I have to like hightail it over to somebody.
See, now correct me if I'm wrong, Owen, but the way a zipping works is basically
It takes the ones and the zeros and it smushes them all together.
It takes all the like characters
Yeah.
in the code and then replaces them with like one or two key characters,
Yeah.
kind
Okay.
of a thing. And so when it gets
so
there,
I'm not going to lose any quality in the
when,
video.
when it gets there, they unpack it and put all those characters back in based off the table, like the table of contents or the key code that it used
So-
to compress it.
But my understanding was
With video.
modern video and picture formats are already compressed.
Yeah.
So if you try to compress them more, you won't get hardly anything from it.
Depends on if
that's
it's a
a good point,
lossless
too,
or
yeah.
like a lossy format or a lossless format.
Let's
So
find out right now.
JPEGs are like a lossy format, so they can be compressed.
They're already compressed.
here's-
but like a PNG is lossless. Like it can't be. It's already as far small. That it's not gonna
Yeah.
compress.
Well, and that's the whole reason why I asked too. And I understand that for like H.264 MP4s or something like
Yeah.
that, or MOV files. But because Premiere has finally introduced ProRes format, and if you have ever worked with ProRes, it's not a small file, especially if you're working with 422 coloring. And so I was wondering if I send it. I'd prefer to send ProRes files to people.
How
because
big are they?
Well, that's the thing, the average size. So I just did the interviews, which I find it's about a little over a gig per minute. And that's for a 1080.
That's a lot.
That's
Video.
a lot of
It is
gigs.
a lot.
Yeah. So, and we're talking like if I have to like upload something to the person who asked me to edit it.
Yeah.
I mean, my internet at home sucks.
I wonder how
So,
long it would take to compress something that huge.
Let's
Yeah,
find out.
the render time, I bet, is
Yeah, it's a good
Or
test. You
compression
should-
No, the
you should
render
just-
time is
just-
super quick.
Just
the
compress
compression
it.
time.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, you won't
Let's
lose
find out.
anything. You won't lose anything. So go ahead and compress it, and then just see what the difference in file size is.
So let's do this top
bet
one
it's
right here.
13%.
It's 2.08.
Okay. What are you going to compress it with?
I just realized I don't have 7-zip on my laptop.
Okay, moving along.
Man, I don't think you'll get much compression from a
Probably not from video.
format.
yeah,
Compression works like best by far for text.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm used to
it's
using it
amazing
for.
text.
So while you work on that, we will continue. But let's talk about one of James's stories.
Okie dokie.
While you try to do that at the same
No, I
time.
got it. Which one do you want to talk about?
No, the DJI
Ooh,
mic.
their new microphone. Here's
Yeah.
the dealio: is I have been on board with DJI ever since they came out with their first drone, and since then they've come out with like a wide variety of products that are kind of amazing. The latest being the Osmo Pocket. It's only like 300, I want to say like $50 on Amazon right now.
That seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot, but for what it does, it's a 3-axis gimbal 4K camera that just fits in the palm of your hand. You can just slap in your pocket.
What does it record to?
It records to just a micro SD card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which 400 gigabyte version micro SD for like $70 on Amazon right now? It's insane.
Yeah, we
Wow.
are definitely living in the
Yeah.
future right now, and especially this is kind of made for like YouTubers. It's
Sure.
small, you can take it wherever, and the fluidity of
Does
the
it have a
video-
screen?
Yeah, it has a little bitty little screen.
Does it
on
really?
Yeah,
Screen,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
which is a lot nicer than the last Osmo, which I bought 2 of. It was $800 when it first came out, and you had to connect it to your phone.
Yeah.
And
I have an Osmo for my phone, and they're a lot cheaper now. But it's
oh, I'm
awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
Do you have like the gimbal for your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The other one that I actually have has a specific camera for it because it was around the time that 4K was starting to become more and more popular. But anywho, so this one, it's a fantastic little device. But what the Osmo has always been lacking, or at least the Osmo that has the camera on it, is it has a little fan on the inside that keeps it cool, and so you can hear it, and so the sound
too
isn't
bad.
very good. But they just barely came out with a microphone specifically for it, and it's only $40. So why wouldn't you do that?
Now that's affordable, I would
So
say.
is it wireless?
Yeah, is
No,
it
it just
wireless?
plugs right into its little USB-C port.
How long is the wire?
Well, I would. It just hangs right on it. You just plug it in right there, right on the
Oh,
camera.
it's just
It's
a
like
little,
it turns
off
a
a
little
little,
like dongle looking.
yeah, yeah. So
And it doesn't pick up the fan noise.
No, it. They made it so it turns off the fan.
Well, then your thing will overheat.
Nope.
Then why
They
is
found
the
a way
fan
around it.
there? What? Then why is the fan there? Then
I
why do
don't
you
know.
need the microphone?
Because the
This sounds like
onboard
some-
microphone is crappy.
This sounds like some wizardry.
I don't know how they
now,
did it.
So now, just like
Magic.
adding,
Science.
now just like adding a flash to a camera, you just plug this thing right into.
Yeah, just plug it right in.
I'm
Good to
calling
go.
shit. Shenanigans.
It's amazing. It's like a shotgun mic on the top of my
Interesting.
camera that I use.
That's pretty cool. If it
Fantastic.
actually works.
Magic science.
Indeed. Cool. So here's, I don't know if any of you guys have been keeping up with the Boeing 737 MAX issues.
Shut down, right?
Shut-
They've been
so
grounded,
they've
right?
all been grounded right
Right.
now. And it looks like Boeing has said that the problem is software related.
Some satellite thing, right? Satellite linkage?
No,
Was I
so-
reading
I
about
thought
that?
it was a sensor that if that sensor went bad, they had no backup sensors.
That I think that is part of it, but the other problem that in the article that I linked to on the show notes says that the software at this point, without the update, has allowed the automatic controls to make adjustments to the nose, like
The pitch?
the pitch. Yes, sorry, the pitch far more than it should be able to. So in the past, all the planes that have this auto adjust to help if the plane goes into a stall to bring the nose down automatically only allows 6.6 degrees of movement or something like that. But the problem is the software right now that they have on these Boeing 737 Maxes was allowing up to 2.5 degrees change.
4 times more.
4 times.
So it sent it straight down.
So it sent it straight down, exactly.
Right.
The other thing that the software was supposed to do, and all of this ties into the sensor that Jarron was talking about.
Right.
If the sensor's malfunctioning, the software basically overcompensates to the point where it accelerates the plane much, much harder and faster than even what is considered safe, as well as points the nose down. Because the way you get out of a stall, and if you're flying,
Increase airspeed
you either
and tip
increase
your nose down.
airspeed or tip your nose down, or
Yeah.
both. And so, basically that made for a really bad combo when that sensor failed
So it accelerated them
to the ground.
to the ground.
Yeah.
Awesome. How many planes have crashed now?
2 so far.
Okay, and they're same
Model. One was with
same conditions.
Yeah, same. From what they can tell, Ethiopia
Yeah.
Air, and then what was the other one?
I don't know the other
The Ethiopia Air was the one that was 6 months ago.
That was the one that was last
So that
week.
was last week.
Lion,
Okay.
Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia Lion Air.
I
Yeah.
don't think 7-Zip's available for Mac.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's not.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I just remembered that. Somebody at work just asked me about that like a week ago, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go get 7-Zip. Oh, it's not available. And then you just jogged my memory.
Ta-da.
It's not. I know that seems
So-
malicious, but
When
it's actually
when you
innocent.
die, you're going to come back as a flamingo. You know this, right?
Gosh, I hope it's at a nude beach.
Dang it.
Going back to more serious things.
Yeah. no.
It would
Continue.
suck to be a developer.
Oh man, how bad would you feel?
Yeah. That's like
That's my
your
sensor.
code is life or death to somebody.
Yeah.
Well, they're like,
Man.
okay, whose code? Who is this sensor team? Like that code? Who is that team?
Sensor
Like,
Team 6?
Sensor Team 6.
Sucks
Yeah.
to be them. And the other thing too that I read about is the reason that Boeing put these this software so aggressive is because the 737 model has actually been around for like 50 or 60 years.
Yeah, it's a
It's
big
been
one.
around forever. And they just keep updating aspects of the plane to create newer models based on the 737.
It's cheaper that way.
It's cheaper that way, exactly. Well, the thing about it is the 737 was made in a time where people came up off the tarmac based on the staircase that would unfold from the airplane, so it needed to be lower to the ground. Well, that was fine back when the 737 was made because the engines at the time were smaller diameter.
Now they're bigger.
Now they're a lot bigger diameter, but they still keep the lowness to the ground from the base model from 60 years ago. And so as a result, that makes these engines have to be moved up closer to the fuselage, I believe it is, as well as tilted slightly. And so that makes it so it's very easy to accelerate up into a stall if you're not careful. And that's why all of the sensors and all the
Oh,
software
they did that as kind of a patch to fix the hardware problem.
Exactly.
Oh.
And so it super sucks that happened because
Engineers were like, look, we have to move this up closer here and blah, blah. And they're like, don't worry about
we
it.
can fix that with
We'll
software.
fix this.
And so as a result of that, though, I mean, if that is the case, which everything so far has pointed towards that, we've had 2 crashes worldwide so far, and they've grounded that entire fleet.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, though, if you think about this, all confidence is now lost, if you ask me,
Oh,
in the
man.
737.
Yeah.
If my safety relies on hoping the code is good,
Right.
Yeah.
If they're using
I am
software to
not
do
down with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, if so, it's been interesting to see that unfold and super.
Has anybody here
sad
ever
as
flown
well.
on a 737 MAX?
I don't know what the difference is between the airplanes. I'm going to look it up on that.
I've flown in 737s, but I don't think I've flown in the Max.
The Max was designed with the bigger engine to go international farther.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not have to stop to increase direct flights is
Yep.
what they were going for.
And increases fuel efficiency as
Yeah.
well.
As well, yeah. And so anyway, yeah. So that's an update on that.
It just looks like every other airplane to me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Check your plane, 737 Max.
Well,
even the
what are you gonna do?
737, even 737 now. I'm like, I don't
Now
know.
those have been in the air for years.
Yeah.
It's just the Max model, and they've all been grounded. So chances are you're not going to fly in one anyway because they've all been grounded as of this recording.
I got an up-and-coming trip to Florida.
I know that's the thing.
What am I supposed to say? Like, is this a 737? Can I double-check the code really quick?
Some of the airlines actually, before all of the 737 Maxes were grounded, airlines were allowing people to switch flights if
Oh,
they didn't
really?
want to fly on a 737 Max.
Oh, by the way, I have an answer for you.
Okay.
Okay, so
So you zipped it.
yeah, this is a Apple ProRes. Started out at clicked off there. It is. 2.08 gigs.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
And this is just with the archiver that I have on my Mac.
Okay.
Took it all the way down to 7.03.
That's
wait, it went up?
Gig and
that's up.
No.
No.
2 gigs.
Sorry.
to 7 gigs?
2.08 to 2.03.
7.
3.
Oh, 3.
Oh, yeah.
So you cut down on
200 megabytes?
what is that?
50 megabytes?
About 50 meg.
Yeah, 50,
50
yeah.
meg.
Yeah, that's right. We're
Wow.
Yeah, we were right. It
It's not
didn't do
nothing.
much.
It's not nothing.
13%.
Yeah, the time it takes to zip it would
didn't find out.
far
Do the math.
eclipses the time it takes to just suck it up.
Maybe
Yeah.
on your internet, on my internet, that's like 20 minutes.
10% would have been like 200 megs. Okay.
So it was 2.07 to begin with?
2.08.
2.08. You know what's cool is this article Owen put in here about a new Firefox feature.
Segue.
This is why I originally asked how big the files were, but then when you're like it's a gig a minute, I was like, oh, he's gonna go way over. So Firefox Send is a new file sharing thing that Firefox. So Firefox, first of all, if you're into security, these guys this is how they differentiated themselves from Google to stay in the industry.
Uh-huh.
So Google went the route. Okay, Google smashed them and beat the market share, and they got everybody because of Google search engine, Google Drive.
I went back to Chrome. Dang it.
I knew it. I knew you would.
But Firefox.
What were you with before?
He
Firefox.
switched to
tried
Firefox.
it. I did too, and I went back.
Wah, wah.
I tried it. I didn't ever commit that I was going to go off it. I just tried it, and it didn't have the features. The plugins get me. The
Yep.
file the plugins for Chrome get
Chrome
me.
extensions, man.
Chrome extensions. So anyway, Firefox kind of differentiated itself by being secure. They were like, it should be secure and privacy and all this
Because
stuff.
nobody else
So-
uses us.
For the last 5 years, they've really focused on that and kind of beaten the drum how insecure Google is with the data. And Google just kind of sits back and goes, obviously people are listening to you because people aren't downloading. Oh, nope, they're not. They're still staying because of the plugins. Okay. Anyway, Firefox now has launched something called Firefox Send, which stayed in a testing phase for a very long time as far as that goes. But they finally released this Firefox Send, which is a way to send files to and from each other without having to dump it to a Google Drive first, where you have size limits like
So
this
it's
or Dropbox.
It's peer to peer.
Yeah, it's peer to peer. It's like the Snapchat of
File sharing.
So you don't have to have an account. You don't have to it doesn't store permanently there. You peer to peer through their servers and
That's
systems.
cool.
Yeah, and so
If it's peer to peer, why is the limit at 2.5
that's
gigabytes?
what I don't know. I think those are
It's-
probably just to stop like a continuous stream.
Yeah,
or
it's
like
probably to stop you from uploading egregious amounts
or
of
live streaming.
stuff.
Like if you had
Yeah.
no data limit at all, you could just continually live stream like a file.
I'll tell you
like
what
a
I think it is.
surveillance or
If it runs through their servers at all, it's definitely to keep it from crashing their servers.
Yeah,
To keep it from overloading their cache.
Yep.
And
If it's then
killing
it's
it.
not peer to peer.
that wouldn't be true peer to peer.
Yeah, it'd be like
so
man
I
in
don't
the middle there.
Is this true peer to peer or
I don't know if it's true. It doesn't say peer to peer in there, so it must pass.
so it
through
must
theirs.
pass through
Yeah.
through their hardware.
But it's the cool thing is some of the features you can set a limit to how many times the file can be downloaded. If you are sending it to somebody or a class or whatever. You can set it to a time limit before deletion. So it looks like you do upload them for a certain
To
amount of time.
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, you must upload them to somewhere. I didn't download it and play with it at all. And so you can set it down to 5 minutes and it'll get deleted, stuff like that. And then you can password protect it before it can be downloaded.
How about encryption? Does it offer an encryption?
Yeah, they actually talk specifically about the algorithm. The service uses an algorithm known as an AES GCM-128.
Okay.
And it says it does upload it to Mozilla's servers.
yeah.
See, now this makes sense to me because Mozilla, the company that makes Firefox, also made for a long time an FTP service.
Thunderbird.
No, Thunderbird was email.
That's their email.
It was FileZilla.
Yeah, FileZilla. Was that them?
That was them, yeah.
They sold that off, though. They don't do that anymore.
I'm pretty sure that...
I use FileZilla
is that
server.
not them anymore?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong and it wasn't them ever, but I'm pretty sure it was them at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so, I mean, if my brain is correct, then yeah, when I read that, I was like, oh yeah, they're pulling some of their FileZilla stuff over.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty neat. I don't think it's going to get me to switch to Firefox. But what I hope it does do is I hope it makes Google ape something like that and put it in Chrome.
Well, and I think specifically, I think that they it's not linked or locked to Firefox.
So you can just send a link to someone and they'll be able to grab it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it starts the download.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I think is what it says here that you don't have to. And somewhere in the article it says you don't have to, but because I read through it and I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So my biggest thing that I run into is sending like installs to people or
Sure.
If you've ever had to try and send like an ISO to somebody for like somebody's like, hey, can you give me this Windows install? And I have it because I'm a digital hoarder and I've installed Windows and I have all this stuff, but I don't have the room or
right.
I have to go make fake accounts in Dropbox so I can boost my Dropbox limit, like, oh, I've invited 4 friends. You get another gigabyte of data. Anyway, this is kind of cool because it makes it a little quicker. 2.5 maybe a long-term limit, but I'm hoping that eventually they open that up to bigger, at least like 5.
So the limit isn't that you can upload up to 2.5 total.
Individual
file size 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, Jarron, I know this is very near and dear and close to your heart. So let's talk about ice cream.
Oh, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting the cone of silence.
I got Play-Doh ice cream the other day from the store. Took me back to watching Hook.
Ugh.
Okay, just 2 words here. Keurig, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Keurig.
Ice cream.
So coffee ice cream?
Bam.
Oh, I saw this. The machine?
Yeah, it's like a Keurig, but for ice cream.
Looks
You have these little ice cream pods. You put it in there,
And it makes it.
and it makes ice
and
cream.
it flavors it for you.
Poops
and
out ice cream.
dispenses
Well,
it.
depending on the pod you get.
How much ice cream will it make from one pod?
Probably like a single serving for skinny people.
Oh, I'll need more than that.
Yeah.
Gonna need more pods than that.
This isn't a released product yet. It's an LG product. They're calling it Snow White.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not made by Keurig.
No.
Oh, okay.
But they have different types of ice cream. Like they have frozen yogurt, frozen custard, gelato, sherbet, sorbet.
Are they like, don't open the?
I'll bet
please
you-
don't open the flavoring. That's just where the ice cream is.
Well, I'll bet you the pods are just flavoring, and you buy like large packets of the non-frozen ice cream part. That's how I bet it works.
Yeah, I
It
don't
just
know.
mixes it.
Because that's a Keurig is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's got your coffee. Your coffee doesn't come from the grinds inside the cup, inside the little Keurig
Just
cup.
the
It
flavor.
comes from the water that
Right.
goes through the grinds.
Right.
So I'll bet it's
Yeah.
that. But that sounds pretty sweet.
It does. And if it's reasonably priced and actually good, like Keurig supposedly is, I've never had it before, I would buy it totally because I love ice cream.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I'm an ice cream connoisseur, you might
Jarron's
say.
What's your
Jarron,
favorite kind of ice cream? Flavor of ice cream?
Well, my favorite ice cream is called Rockwell here
That's
in
the
Utah
brand.
County. Yeah.
Is that the one that's over by the Megaplex in Orem?
No, that one's pretty good too. So that one,
That one's really good.
I would say number 2. That's Brooker's.
Yeah, that one's really, really good.
see this?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual information. Okay, I'm hooked. I want to try. Ice cream is something I can try a lot of. So
So they didn't give a release date or if they're actually going to make it mass scale, but they just showed it at South by Southwest, and I hope it's a reality.
South by Southwest.
Indeed. Also, Jarron, tell us about the cone of silence that you
Okay, so
mentioned.
this is friggin' awesome. So scientists have they've developed this acoustic meta material. Doesn't that just sound cool already?
I want one.
It can catch certain frequencies passing through the air and it reflects them back to the source. So
So they just don't pass through it?
So how typical acoustic paneling works normally, it absorbs the sounds and it turns the vibrations into heat.
Yeah.
So this is skipping that, just reflecting it right back.
Wow.
So it looks like this, a ring, pretty much, a plastic ring. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And it completely, even though you could look through it, even though light passes through it, sound just completely
Wait a minute.
bounces off.
The
of
sound goes through the ring,
It doesn't go through the ring.
It's
it just
completely
bounces
nullified.
but
off
it gets
the ring.
nullified.
Yeah.
So, what?
So it says, when a loudspeaker was placed into one end of a PVC pipe with a 3D printed ring of the metamaterial, the ring cut 94% of the sound
crazy.
blasting from the speaker, enough to make it inaudible to the human ear.
Wow.
So imagine what they could do with drones. They could make them completely silent with this material.
Oh, you just ruined it. You just scared me.
See, this is where they needed to actually work on the technology because if you think about it, eventually we're going to get to the point where cars can fly, right?
And they can make a completely silent car.
Yeah.
Put right where the
But can you
muffler is.
imagine, like, if you didn't have any kind of silencer on a flying car, how loud it would be just going through your neighborhood? I
Very
already hate
loud.
the guy that owns a motorcycle in my neighborhood.
You could have soundproof,
New
transparent
dad.
walls.
Nap time.
I want to string. I'm going to slash his tires.
I've been there. It's okay.
This would be great. MRI machines, which are extremely loud.
Oh yeah.
Cubicles at work, It sounds awesome.
Well, this isn't the first time metamaterials have been made to do this. There's actually one out there too that they're using to bend light waves. Same thing as sound waves, but it was like this whole like, are we in the cloaking future?
Oh,
and
yeah.
basically, when a camera's placed at it, you would see the light bend around this object. You couldn't see the object. Anyway, metamaterials, it's becoming a big thing now. But I think it's a lot more practical with sound, acoustic stuff, because that's something that we actually want.
I'm really curious how that works now. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that you would put in a room and make the room so quiet that it would like drive people crazy.
Yeah, can
you know what I
imagine
mean?
just having your voice we are so used to, as a human race, we're so audible and visual based.
Yeah.
For our sensory, that like when I talk this wall, my brain expects something back,
To
a tone,
sound to reflect
something.
back.
Without that,
Or even just background noise
Something.
of
Have
any
you ever-
kind.
You could put them in headphones, and you wouldn't have
True
to do
noise
active
canceling.
noise canceling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever been in a sound booth? Like a true
Yeah.
sound dampening
It's
sound?
crazy.
It's weird.
And there's and those aren't even like, I'm sure it was a higher quality one, but you go to like the super high quality
Yeah.
ones that are like almost
studio grade quality.
yeah, deafeningly silent. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but
Well, at some point in time, I wouldn't mind, as a Gadget Spot crew, us going to one of those sensory deprivation tanks and really just getting to know ourselves.
I don't
What
want to
is-
know me. I don't like me.
What is
Have
that
you
mean?
never heard of a sensory? You know what it is.
Some-
You know what that is, though, right?
Yeah, I know what that is. I
So
want
we
to know
should-
what getting to know yourself means.
Well, I mean, when you turn off all your sensory, who is Jarron?
Take some psilocybin right before you get in.
I don't know what that is, but yup.
Magic mushrooms.
Whoa.
Is that the name for magic mushrooms, like a medical term?
That's the psilocybin.
That's the
Psilocybin.
chemical.
I'm going to say that later and sound smart.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Hopefully it just doesn't flounder in testing for the next 20 years. They can actually make
The
something
government
new.
will just
They're going to weaponize it.
yeah.
Well, obviously. That's just how it works.
Well, it's like what I said with the Mavic 2 Pro. Like the amount of like how good that drone is at just tracking inanimate objects and differentiating between people and vehicles. Like I mean, this is commercial grade. Just imagine what the government has. That's all I'm saying.
What's OneWeb?
Oh, OneWeb is. I would just assume you guys already knew that.
This
So-
sounds like they're trying to compete with SpaceX.
No. It's OneWeb is a company that is dedicated to a worldwide internet
Through satellites?
through satellites.
Somebody has
Sounds
to
like
own,
SpaceX.
That's what SpaceX is trying
somebody
to do.
has to
I
own
thought
the keys.
SpaceX was just doing like commercial space travel.
So the first
and colonizing
the
Mars.
first thing they're trying to do is build cheap rockets, and then they're going to use those to launch
cheap satellites.
cheap satellites
Oh.
for a worldwide internet network.
Well, OneWeb already has done that. They've launched.
no, they haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, they've launched 60 satellites.
They have funding.
No, it says 60 satellites.
I see
doesn't it?
six. I see 6 on the notes.
Six
Six.
satellites. That's what I meant.
In a planned constellation
I
of
just
hundreds.
don't. I just don't understand. Somebody has to hold the keys to those network routers. Those are just mobile space routers. That's
Yeah,
what
they
we're
are.
gonna call them.
Well, the name of the game is just gathering analytics.
But
and knowing
somebody
where
has to
everybody is.
own those. and so
192.168.1.1.
that's your router home. That's your you should. Everybody should go there.
It's 0.1, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it
One
depends.
dot-
Depends
one
on the brand.
Yeah,
Depends
that's
on
true.
the ISP actually. Comcast 10.1.10.1.
Well,
10.0.0.
anywho.
Anyway,
They've already
know them
launched
all.
6 satellites, but in order to get the net completely up, they need 650.
So they're 1% of the way there.
Yes, they've raised 1.25 billion.
That's
and
a
it
lot.
costs about 1 million a piece to send them up, but that's not counting overhead.
I'm curious to know
Maintenance,
what
yeah.
country is basic what these people are based in, because that's there's a race now for internet or space internet
Yeah.
and
Spacernet.
Spacernet, and I think that the country that gets there first will hold the monopoly, because right now we all have our own little networks, but we're all connected to the World Wide Web. But it kind of originated in the U.S., right? I mean, we hold the keys to that.
It
the whole idea.
originated in the U.S. between the military
Yeah.
and several universities. The first one was called the ARPANET.
Yeah, ARPANET. U of U here in Salt Lake.
Yeah,
was
U of
one
U
the
was-
first one.
was a
If
part of
not
it.
The first one.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Anyway,
So let's think about this for a minute. They need
650.
they've raised a total of 3.4 billion. It says so. They just got another infusion of 1.25. But if it costs $1 million,
3 more satellites.
well,
No,
if it costs $1 million,
a million a satellite. Not
if it
30.
costs $1 million a
You
satellite,
think they'd already be
that
there. That's
seems
the
like
thing
enough
that kind
money.
of confuses me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just need like $300 million. That's it.
But like, I don't know if that's
600 million
just in like fuel to get it up, and so that's not counting the build of the satellite,
Yeah.
or I don't know. It was a little bit unclear with that stuff. But
So this last one, it says the Soyuz rocket is taking the next one up.
sounds like
the
it's
Russian
Native
So
American.
That's Russian.
That's
Oh,
Russian,
You were
yeah.
close.
Dang it!
So they're using Russia to launch them right now.
SpaceX is getting their stuff up and running too.
It's
Like they're testing their heat shields now for their space flight, their actual person carrier. Right?
Yeah.
They're doing some heat shield testing, which is interesting.
Yep. That's the end of that.
Nice.
I don't know if you want to talk like when they finally get ramped up to full production, they were saying that they can launch up to 30 a month.
Wow.
So we're still a couple of years out from actually having this be a thing, but I'm just wondering, like, what's the speed going to be? What's
Yeah.
the price of it going to be?
I mean, I like that this is happening in general because it's going to mean competition for SpaceX.
Somebody
You know what I
somebody
mean?
corrected us on or pinged us on Facebook or somewhere and said that it's low orbit.
Yeah.
It's
So
low orbit satellite, so it's going to be like fiber latency.
that's what. Yeah.
Fiber
I
latency.
can't remember who sent us that message, but yeah, they're saying the low orbit will produce fiber level latency, which that still sounds fishy to me. But I'd have to look into it more, and I haven't in the last 2 weeks. So maybe it does. I don't know.
I'm just excited to have everything I do get spied on the
It
internet.
already is.
Yeah.
Google already sees it all.
Yeah, but now I know it's on a satellite.
Now it's in space.
It makes you feel good that it's in space.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope to one day own a satellite of my own.
And this is also kind of interesting because you know how our data gets around the world right now from continent to continent?
undersea cables.
Really huge undersea cables.
It's gonna seem
undersea
so-
fiber.
Sometimes get cut.
Sometimes they do. And
There
then
was one
Is
that
it-
got cut a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird to think that someday our kids are going to look back at like the way that our internet is ran and look at it like the railroad,
Yeah,
where
they're
it's like
like-
physical landlines running from place to place?
they're like, that was so archaic.
Well, if you look at like power lines, right? Like power lines already look so old. Like it's just weird that you have these big, thick cables running from pole to pole.
Yeah.
I wish Tesla would have won.
With his wireless power.
Sure, we would have had people blow up randomly because there's a bunch of energy going through
You
the.
just walk through a wire, physical
If
power
that-
supply.
If that turns me into Captain Marvel, I'm fine with it.
Which Captain Marvel? Are we talking about Shazam or Captain
Nice.
Marvel?
Way to be.
Thank you.
This guy-
Big red cheese, baby.
Big red cheese.
Big fan of Shazam.
Cool.
I'm kind of excited about that movie.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I love Zachary Levi.
I still haven't seen Aquaman though.
I like Doc.
It was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was good. I liked
See, and
it.
that's how I felt about Captain Marvel, the movie. It was good. I'm not obviously like the target audience for it, but like I thought it was really good.
How come you're not?
Well, I mean, I'm a Marvel fan, but I feel like it was
So
made
how come
for
you're not the target audience?
young ladies. I feel like it.
What?
Well, and ladies in general. Yeah, I
Oh,
thought it was a
so-
very like
so-
empowering, very good movie.
Is Captain America made just for young men?
Not necessarily. Maybe war veterans.
Okay, so Captain America isn't made specifically for young men,
On your left.
but Captain Marvel is made for young women.
I don't know. Is it? Oh, I'm not saying that. Why would you say that, Jarron?
He's just putting the dots together.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
jeez.
just putting the
No,
dots
I'm
together.
just kidding. I really like that movie, actually. Like, it's really, really. I don't know why I said actually. It's really good.
Marvel.
I don't understand the hate on it.
Marvel
at all.
hasn't put out a stinker in a lot of years. They've pretty much hit,
They found their.
They
got
found-
Disney
they found their
involved, and
formula.
Disney's like, look,
and
here's a
they.
formula.
Yep.
Well, it's what Disney's been doing ever since they had their animated cartoons. When
Yep.
they would reuse animation cells, they would find a couple of cells that worked from movie to movie, and then they'd literally copy paste it over. I mean, you saw that in Robin Hood, and I think it was like, what was it? What's
Come
the
on,
other
come
one?
on,
No,
come on.
Jungle Book.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Baloo and Little John are the same character.
Yeah, isn't that
Thought
crazy?
They looked the same.
It's the same character,
Yeah.
just a different color fur.
And then they ran with that. Then they did like all the cartoons like for our era like were all Baloo and Chippendale. Like
Yep.
they're like, well, people like those. Let's just continue to crank them out.
I'm sure we can do some more with these guys.
Yes.
You know who they need to bring back? Side note: Darkwing Duck.
I have those on Plex.
Let's
Nice.
get
I have them on there,
dangerous.
and I watch them occasionally. My kids are like, these are stupid. Dad.
Here's the deal.
You tell us, shut up, kids.
Shut up, you.
Is
Don't
I'm
make
not
me
a
get dangerous.
I'm not a big fan of the live action version of all the Disney animated cartoons that came out. Not a big fan. But you know what? Whatever. Not everything's made for me. That's fine.
I'm excited
There
for
you go.
Aladdin.
But that being said, if they're doing Aladdin and Cinderella and all this stuff, I better get an Emperor's New Groove. That is the most underrated,
Seriously.
love that
best
movie.
animated Disney movie outside
really
of
is.
Aladdin.
Second best animated movie. The first best animated Disney
Don't
movie.
say Atlantis.
No, Treasure Planet.
What a great movie.
Treasure Planet is so good.
Never
No
saw
Cusco?
it.
Yeah, I never saw
No
that one.
Cuscotopia.
Cuscotopia.
Emperor's New Groove is like the closest second that a second place has ever got.
Beware
if you ask
the
me,
groove.
it's so good.
You've thrown off the Emperor's Groove.
All right, is there anything else we wanted to hit on, guys? I think we're all done.
I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home?
Moo.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? No, we're good. Good.
We good? We good?
Yep.
Did you want to mention Dark Forces real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Dark Forces is getting a fan remake,
Whoop whoop whoop.
and the graphics look amazing. They look better than any Star Wars games I've seen.
They're using the Unreal 4 engine.
Yeah, it looks good. They all they've done so far is Mos Eisley, but it's not sanctioned by EA.
Yeah, so it'll get shut down.
I hope not. Well, Lucasfilm, they're kind of cool with things like that. There's like a bunch of Star Wars fan made stuff online.
Did you see
On
the
YouTube.
Star Wars
Maybe.
land, the drone shots that they came out
Yeah,
with?
it looks awesome.
Oh my gosh!
I hope it goes far because it would be cool to play that with updated graphics.
Yeah, but it's something to look forward to. Hopefully, if they keep doing it.
Oh, you know what I heard too? One thing before we go.
What's that?
Using AI to upscale TV.
Yes.
Did you hear about upscaling Deep Space Nine
Yes,
to
I did.
1080p?
Yeah.
So I thought about this as I was thinking about DLSS and like all the stuff that the 2080s do, like for the sampling and the AI. And I was like, oh, actually, that would be something that's really cool that they could put that technology towards.
Yeah.
Was upscaling old shows to like better resolutions.
Yeah, because there's some old shows out there that still are awesome, but they're just hard to watch.
They
Because
really are. They seem almost fuzzy or cloudy
Yeah.
now, and you're like, do I need to get a smaller TV?
So my mom has my old, well, I say old, but it's only like 2 years old, Vizio P series from 2017, late 2017.
Yeah.
And she last weekend she's like, Tony, I need you to hook up my VHS VCR. and,
That looks so bad.
and so I did, and it looks terrible.
Because it tries.
65 inches of just blurry garbage.
Like you can actually see the blocks. The pixels are now 1 inch big.
Wasn't that 240p? Or
It was
something?
It was it was either 240p or 480. I think it was 240p.
So that
Because
4K is 9 times sharper than that.
DVD was double. It was 480p.
Right.
And so
everybody's like, whoa.
yeah, and it was. Oh, it was
so
ugly.
so there was an article I read about Deep Space Nine getting a upscale using AI to create the
Yeah.
pixels, which
Yeah.
I thought of the 2080.
Well, that's
NVIDIA stuff.
That's pretty much exactly what
Yeah.
DLS is attempting.
Yeah.
Is
So-
filling in the information with stuff that it creates from its algorithms.
And that's
So-
interesting because I could see that actually being a usable like to upscale home videos.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, because you got home videos from like the 90s that are built on those VHS camcorders and like
Or the 8mm Sony
or
stuff.
whatever, and you
or-
could like, wouldn't that be cool to send that in and get like a high res like
Yeah.
1080p back from them?
I hope the computer thinks I'm taller than I really
Maybe
was.
you can add that.
He
Hey,
just put that in there. Increase height of this person by
Alright.
Yeah.
by 6 inches.
deepen voice. Oh, they can't do audio, no audio, just the
It'll come.
We'll
yeah.
get there.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for downloading and listening, making it to the end of this episode if you have. And I think we're all done. Owen, why don't you take us out?
Hey, we hope you care.
Gadget Spot.